Today, I'm going to be doing an A1 service on my 2021 Honda Passport. So here's the vehicle. So this car I've owned for just under a year. It has right around 9,000 miles on it. I received my minder for, in the maintenance minder, the dash, for a service required, a service A1. Now technically it's not required yet. I still have about 1,000 more miles. It's technically at 10,000 miles, or 1 year is when they want you to do it. But it's a nice day today. I have the stuff. I'm just going to do it and get it done ahead of time. So when you see maintenance required A1, that corresponds to a specific service. So in your Honda owner's manual, you can see maintenance A is replace engine oil, and then 1 is rotate tires. And then there are others here as well. A B would be oil and filter, inspecting brakes, inspecting other fluid levels, tie rod ends, etc. And then a 1 is rotate tires, but a 2 is replacing the air cleaner, dust and pollen filter. 3 would be replacing transmission fluid. 4 would be spark plugs, etc. So what I'm supposed to do today is oil and rotate tires. Not even an oil filter, which seems ridiculous to me. So I'm going to do oil filter, I'm going to rotate the tires, and I'm also going to check on the air filter, and I'm likely going to do that as well. So let's talk about the products that I purchased. Oh, and by the way, that's in your Honda owner's manual. It is page number 348 in mine. As far as products are concerned, I have some Liqui Top Tech 6600. It's a 0W20, which is what the vehicle calls for. And then for an oil filter, I'm going to be using Mobil 1 M1-110A. I'll put links in the description to these products. I have no affiliation with Liqui or with Mobil 1, but I've used their products in a lot of my European cars for years, and I've never run into issues. So, first things first. You don't need to put this on a lift in order to change your oil. You can very easily do it. The car just needs to be level. You can very easily do it on the garage floor. I can roll under this car with my creeper very easily. Because I need to rotate the tires anyway, I'm going to grab my quick jacks and I'm going to put this up on the lift in the air. It's going to make it easier for me to show you guys with the camera what I'm doing, and it's also going to enable me to rotate the tires without having to have multiple floor jacks out. So let me just do that quick. Okay, so we have the Passport up on the quick jacks. It's important, again, to note that you do not need these to do this service. Don't feel like if you don't have quick jacks, you can't work on your Honda. You can totally do it. You're just going to need to do the oil change with it on the ground, and then to change your tires using like 2 floor jacks or a floor jack and a jack stand. Lift up one side at a time, swap the tires, lower it back down. Okay, so we are under the car. This is the passenger side front. And you can see there's no, there's a plastic cover here, but it doesn't cover the bottom of the pan. So this right here is the oil pan where the engine oil is kept. There's a plug right here to drain it. And then later on in another video, we'll be doing a transmission service, and the transmission plug is this one back here with a square on the top of it. So there's even a note here that says engine oil and points to it. So we're going to use a 17 millimeter to take this drain off right here. Just give it a quick tap, break it loose, and then we'll remove it by hand. and we'll let that drain out. And as you can see, it's fairly dark, which is what we expect. Okay, so once it finishes draining, you're going to take a new crush washer. You're going to put it on your plug, and you're going to reinstall it back in the pan. Good opportunity to wipe it off. And then you're going to tighten it. Okay, and the torque on this is, it's like 18 foot-pounds. I'll put it in the description, but you just want to make sure that you don't over tighten this. It's an aluminum, this is aluminum, and this is steel, so you have the ability to strip out the threads on this side. Okay, so now all of our oil has been drained. Next, we're going to change our oil filter. Now, again, this isn't something that is listed on the requirements, but it's actually right here behind the wheel, and you access it behind this cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this wheel, because I have to do it anyway, and then I can show you guys a better picture of where it is. All right, so what you can see right here, there is the oil filter. It's blue, and it's right here. Now you don't need to take the wheel off to get to this, but I have to rotate my tires anyway, so I figured I might as well just take it off because it makes my camera angles better. I'm gonna just use a strap wrench here to take this off because it is tight. Okay, so there we are, it's loosened up. And there will be some oil inside that will run out. So there we are. We're going to grab our new oil filter. We'll get that threaded on. And we'll just grab a little bit of oil here, rub it on the O-ring, and then we will thread this on. Now, like I said at the beginning, this is a Mobil 1 M110 or M1-110A. Let's put that on, wipe all of this off. All right, so we've got this threaded on, and we're going to just wipe this off, and we'll tighten this by hand. Just like that. That's really as tight as it should be, by hand. So, wipe all of this off, any and all oil. I'm going to remove the rear tire, I'm going to move it forward, and I'm going to install it here, and I'm going to install my front tire in the back. So that's me rotating from front to back on the same side. Okay, now we're going to rotate the tires on the other side of the vehicle. All right, so one thing that you might have noticed is when I put the wheels on, I didn't torque them down with my gun. There's a reason for that. I want to torque them to the right torque using a torque wrench. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to lower the car onto the ground. I'm going to go around and torque all of the lugs and make sure that they're to the proper torque setting. All right, so now we can use a torque wrench and we can go around and we can torque all of our wheels since they're on the ground. Okay, so now all of our wheels are torqued, but remember, we still don't have oil in the car. So the last thing that we need to do is we have to put oil in our car. And the oil fill is actually right here on the front of the engine where my hand is. This cap, it says 0W20 right on it. We're gonna move that out of the way. The dipstick is over here. So I'm gonna start off by adding 3.5 quarts, and then we'll see where we're at, and we'll continue adding from there. We're going to probably need very close to it. Okay, so we'll pull out the dipstick, we'll clean off the end of it, we'll stick it back in, and see where we are. It's important that your car is level when you're checking the oil. So I am below the minimum line. So what I'm going to do is add another 1/2 quart, and then we'll check where we're at again. Okay, so we are now about halfway between min and full, as you can see there. Now, I do like to be closer to the high side, especially on these cars with these long service intervals, like 10,000 miles. So I'm gonna add a little bit more, and that should be good. Yep. All right. So I am just below the full line. All right. Clean everything off. Put our cap back on. All right, so we have 2 more things to do here. And to be very clear, these are not supposed to be done until the B service. I'm doing them early. So technically they tell you not to change the air filter until 20,000 miles. My car only has 10 on it. I'm gonna do it anyway. It's a $20 filter in a $40,000 car. I don't think that it makes sense to wait 2 years. So the part number, I picked a Purolator 1. I'll post a link in the description to Amazon. A29152 is the part number. This is what it looks like when you open it up. So what we're gonna do, the air box is right here. There are 3 clips, 1, 2, 3 on the back. And this picks up and pulls out, just like that. And you'll see here is the old air filter. So this sucks in from the bottom, and you can see mine's pretty dirty. You know, there's definitely some crap in here, some bugs, some black crap. So I don't understand why they're telling you to wait. It's a $20 part. You would think that Honda would want you to maintain the vehicle. But anyway, so if you've got like leaves and crap in the bottom of it, this is a good opportunity to clean them out. I don't. So we're just gonna set this in here. So you'll see on this side, there's like a flat part, and on this side, there's not. It goes this way. So this faces the passenger side of the vehicle. And it only goes in one way, so if you have it backwards, it won't slide in. So we've got it in. We're going to take this, we're going to put the bottom in and slide it back. Snap, 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 just like that. Okay, so that is done. And we can get rid of our trash. So last, we're going to do the cabin air filter. So this is the interior air filter that filters the air that you're breathing as you're driving the car around. So the HVAC system. The original air filter that I replaced under the hood is for the engine's breathing. This is for yours. So for this, I picked a Bosch. It's a 6029C premium cabin air filter. It's a HEPA filter, so it can filter allergens and those types of things. It can be nice for areas where you might have high pollen or people that are more sensitive breathers. It was a normal one's like $16, and this Bosch HEPA was like 20, so I just bought the better filter. I've never done this before, but the air filter in most Hondas I found is behind the glove box, so I'm assuming it's going to be there in this car as well. So here I am on the passenger side of the car, and here's the glove box. And normally what you want to do is you want to open this up, and usually there will be like a tab. Yeah, so the top is like perforated here, and you can kind of bend these in. Note that this will fall if you let it go, and all of your stuff will dump all over the floor like that. So there's that. And there, yeah, so we can see there's the air filter cover. So if you need more room, you can usually get that by taking, like, there's a string here that connects it to this retainer that's back here. So there's usually something like that, and some Hondas and Toyotas there'll be like a little arm that pops off, or different things like that. Let's see if we can get it without taking that off. So here's the cover, and there's like a tab on both sides, a little plastic tab. So if we just squeeze those in, there we go. It should just slide out. Okay, so you can do it. Now you see here on the front it says airflow, and it's pointing down. So this would be the dirty side, and you can see what mine's collected in about 8,500 miles in not even a year. So again, they tell you to replace this every other year, but mine's pretty dirty. So I mean, you see the brown and stuff in there. So let's pop this out, and we'll open up the new one. And then they do make these in a, and you'll see here on the bottom it says airflow, like that. So we're going to put this in the same way. Which is like this. So what you want to do is there's like a plastic piece here, or like a retainer. So you just want to make sure that your first pleat is kind of over that, so that all of the air has to go through, because air is going to use the path of least resistance. So if this isn't over that, it might go around the filter. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. You see here, there's like a gap. I don't know if you can see. So where that gap is, you just want to kind of put this pleat over the top. There you go, just like that. Okay, so, and again, pay attention to the arrow. The airflow goes this way. The filter is labeled that way as well. And obviously, like I said, this is a HEPA filter, which is why it's blue. The normal one is white. So they actually make 3 different types of filters usually. So there's a HEPA filter like this. There is the white filter like that, which is a pretty standard filter. And then they also make them with carbon in them. This is a carbon filter, and the carbon filters are designed to remove smells from vehicles. So now we can just kind of lift this up, and we should see the sides kind of go in, and it snaps back into place. And then we can put all of our crap back in our glove box. Registration card, insurance card, keys for the wheels. Close that up, and we are good to go. A better look of the dirty filter and kind of what it looks like. And again, they tell you to change this at 20,000 miles. I think that's too long. I don't want to be breathing this. I mean, the underside is clean, but it's brown. This started off white. All right, so now we're going to reset the maintenance information inside the car. So we get inside the car, we're going to press the button twice, 1, 2, and you'll see the dash light up. And you'll see that it says that my driver door is open, my hood is open, maintenance due soon, A1. We're going to wait for the radio to boot up. Once the radio boots up, we will go to Home, go to Settings, go to Vehicle, and scroll down to Maintenance Information, and we will see that we need an engine oil and tire rotation. So we can hit Reset All, Reset, and there we are. All maintenance items reset. So the next thing that's going to come up is a B, which is an oil and filter, and that's going to come up in the next, whatever, 10,000 miles or so. So now we can go back, we can shut our car off, and what we will see this time, we can even start the car. Door open, hood open, fasten seatbelt. And there we are. No more maintenance. All right, so that is how you do an A service, I technically did a B service, on a 2021 Honda Passport. It should be the same for 2019 through 2022. It should also be pretty much the same as the Ridgeline and the Pilot. They might be slightly different, but they are the same engine, the same very similar chassis and very similar builds, so I would expect those to be the same. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I will post links in the description to the oil, the filter, the air filters, all of the stuff that I used here. Obviously you don't have to buy it from the links, but if you do, it helps me out, and it gives me it doesn't cost you any additional money, but it gives me like 5% kickback, give or take. So thank you for watching. I wouldn't be afraid to work on this car. It's one of the easiest ones I've ever done. Hondas they're built well, and they want their technicians to have a good experience working on the cars, so they design them pretty well. There isn't anything stupid. The only one annoying thing that I will say about this particular car is that the oil filter is above the frame rail, behind the passenger wheel there, like I showed. And what I found is that it collected a little bit of oil on top of the frame rail, and even after I wiped it all up and cleaned it up, it still kind of dripped for a couple of days. The oil filter holds a lot of oil, and it's vertical. So I don't know if I could get a dish underneath it. I might try to next time, like maybe a rubber or silicone thing that I can slip underneath or something like that to just hold that oil and make it so that I don't make as much of a mess. I had a little drip for about 2 days that I noticed on my floor in my garage after doing that. But anyway, easy to work on. Don't be afraid of this car. If you have any questions, please ask. Links in the description. Have a great day.